Happy Halloween, boys and girls, and welcome to Going to Bed with Mike and Steve. I'm Mike.
And I'm Steve.
And I've been, over the past 24 hours...
Oh god, I had nightmares last night.
Since we read chapters 3 and 4. I was thinking more about the fact that we suggested that the egg monsters from Mars are actually an allegory for a boy going through puberty, and that the eggs actually represent his testicles. Now, aside from the fact that the testicles are, or rather the eggs are ostrich-sized, and green
has purple veins.
Well, they are also veiny. They have purple veins.
Okay.
I think that I think honestly, if you dissect a scrotum and on the inside you look at a testicle, I'm pretty sure it's got like purple and blue veins.
Sure, I mean,
from my own personal dissection of my own personal scrotum,
that's the blue veins.
That's the blue veins. So, but I was also thinking that another subtle clue that this does represent puberty is women are from Venus, but where are men from? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Egg monsters from Mars.
Oh.
Egg monsters from Mars are essentially testicles. That's what we have realized. So all the struggles... and as soon as he discovered the egg, or his own testicle,
he wanted to show a girl.
The first thing he wanted to do, he had questions for his parents. Scientific questions, but the first thing he wanted to do was show his female neighbor. So let's continue with the sexual awakening of... What
do we call it, Brandon?
We called him Brandon. His name's Dana.
Dana.
Dana from Egg Monsters from Mars. Chapter 5. No, stop, I wailed as I stared in horror. One of the three girls caught the egg in midair and tossed it back. So basically that just means that he put himself out there. She went, ew. He was rejected sexually for the first time.
And now he's going to feel self-conscious, and that's where it all starts.
Not to say that if you don't want to engage sexually with a young pubescent male that you have to, otherwise he's going to feel self-conscious. That's not your responsibility, ladies. However, that may be where his psychology is leading. I dove for it, making a headfirst slide and grabbed the egg in one hand before I hit the gravel. Now remember,
gravel. His neighbor's last name is Gravel.
The female neighbor's last name is Gravel and Gravel.
Oh man, this is a terrible relationship these guys have.
Was it broken? No, this shell must be made of steel, I told myself.
Yeah, it is.
I pulled myself to my feet, gripping the egg carefully. To my surprise, it felt hot. Burning hot. Oh. Whoa, I nearly dropped it. Throb, throb, throb. It pulsed rapidly. I could feel the veins beating against my fingers. I wanted to show the egg to Mom and Dad. Whoop, bit of an Oedipus complex there.
Oh, hey Mom! Dad, go away!
I'll kill you!
I'll kill you, I swear to God.
But they were busy well, is it, so the Electra complex is when a girl wants to kill her mother and marry her dad.
Yes.
But does it work the same way so say the boy is also attracted to his father and wants to kill his mother, would that also be an Electra?
I don't know, I don't know.
Is there like a homosexual variation on the Oedipus and the Electra complex? We'll have to Google that. Or Bing it.
I'm sure.
Or Yahoo it. Or Ask Jeeves.
I'm sure they didn't think about it when they created the stories way back when, but I'm sure that could exist.
We'll have to look it up, because anyway, he wants to show both his mom and dad. But they were busy breaking up the egg fight. Dad's face was bright red. He was shouting at Brandy and pointing to the red blood stains up and down the side of the garage. Mom was trying to calm down two girls who were crying. They had blood stuck to their hair and all over their clothes. They even had it stuck to their eyebrows. I guess that's why they were crying.
War never changes.
Behind them, Stubby was having a feast. He was running around in circles, lapping up the blood puddles and the entrails from the grass, his bushy tail wagging like crazy. What a party! I decided to take my weird egg inside. I wanted to study it later. Maybe I'd break off a tiny piece and look at it under the microscope. Oh boy.
Probably.
That's some Pain Olympics shit. I would not recommend Googling or Binging or Yahooing or asking Jeeves about the Pain Olympics.
No.
I've only heard about them. I'm not into that, like, two
You are
girls,
now aware of it. Viewer discretion.
It's essentially where people mutilate their own genitals to see who can go the farthest or endure the most pain. So like people, I'll just give you an example so that you can go and then never look at it. For instance, a gentleman taking a screwdriver and inserting it into his urethra. That is one of the ones I'm aware of. I never saw it, but my friends out in Vancouver were, I mean, not into it sexually, but into it from a voyeuristic. Like,
hey, Mike, look at this.
Right.
Oh.
I don't even remember. I think it was called like E-Fucked or something. There's some weird website they'd go to. Again, I don't recommend Googling or Yahooing or Binging or asking Jeeves about it. But they'd always be like, "Just see the new one?" And I'd always be like, "All right, I'm going over. I'm gonna go read my Goosebumps books."
Go to Urban Dictionary. I'm sure they can give you the definition of what it's all about without actually visually seeing it.
Right. But I'm sure some of the definitions will be examples of what they are, and they'll
like,
be pretty horrible. So he's gonna break off a tiny piece of his testicle and look at it under a microscope.
All right.
Then I'd make a tiny hole in the shell and
him.
try to see inside. Throb, throb. The veins pounded against my hand. The egg still felt hot. It might be a turtle egg, I decided, judging by the turtleneck on the turtleneck at the end of the long neck. I walked carefully to the house, cradling it in both my hands. One morning last fall, Anne found a big box turtle on the curb in front of her house. She carried it into her backyard and called me over. She knew I'd want to study it. Oh, okay, and also, if you Urban Dictionary'd vagina and you looked at, if you looked at synonyms, you would, box is a term for vagina. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard the term box grip.
No.
But a box, okay, but that's, some people will...
So she's like, hey, check this out.
In a crude fashion, refer to a vagina as a box. So, this...
he wasn't interested then, but he's interested now.
This complements our theory.
Now, that's why he's thinking about it now.
She carried it into her backyard and called me over. She knew I'd want to study it. It was a pretty big turtle, about the size of a lunchbox.
Whoa.
Wow, Anne.
Wowzers.
Anne and I wondered how it got to her curb. Up in my room, I had a book about turtles. I knew the book would help me identify it. I had hurried home to get the book, but Mom wouldn't let me go back out. I had to stay inside and have lunch. Wait. Oh, that's about the turtle. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he went inside during the party, and his mom was like, "Nope, you can't go back out. You gotta have lunch." I'm like, "Lunch is not included in this party."
Oh, cheap bastards.
Sorry, kids, you're all gonna have to wait while my children eat the eggs. But Mom wouldn't let me go back out. I had to stay inside and have lunch. When I got back to Anne's backyard, the turtle had vanished. I guess it wandered away.
Oh,
she got bored waiting for him. She's like, "Hey, you want to inspect my box turtle?" To which he responded, I've got a book on this. Hold on, I'll be right back." And she's sitting there waiting. He can't find the book. His mom's like, "You have to have lunch." She's like, "Where the fuck did you go? I was coming on to you. I was throwing myself at you."
You gotta take it as the moment comes, and then the moment has passed.
I mean, I understand if he wanted to get his instructional manual on cunnilingus or Kama Sutra, but at the same time, you can't then just go home and have a ham sandwich and expect her to be laying out on the hammock waiting for you when you get back.
Learned prior.
Turtles can be pretty fast when they want to be. As I carried my treasure into the house, that sounds like a way that somebody would describe their genitals in an E.L. James book in fucking...
My treasures, my jewels.
Well, I think in 50 Shades of Grey, she refers to her vagina as her goddess or her sex.
Her sex.
I think it's her goddess, too, as well. I don't know what... They got the new book out from Christian Grey's perspective. And
so I don't know how that's...
The bro! I don't know. Hey. I don't know. The king. The sultan of the universe. I don't know what he would refer to his schwang as.
Anaconda don't.
His anaconda don't. His anaconda don't want none unless you got egg monsters from Mars.
Yes.
But why was it so hot, and why did it have those yucky veins all over it? Eggs don't have veins, do they? I hid the egg in my dresser drawer. Well, in his drawers. In his underpants. I surrounded it with my balled-up socks to protect it. Then I closed the... He's gonna be using those balled-up socks a little bit later, if you know what I'm saying, Steve. Then I closed the drawer slowly, carefully, and returned to the backyard. Brandy's guests were all leaving as I stepped outside. They were covered in sticky eggs. They didn't look...
everywhere.
Oh, sorry, sticky blood, because we're doing
sticky... Sticky blood. Yes.
Excuse me, they were covered in sticky blood. They didn't look too happy. Brandy didn't look too happy either. Dad was busy shouting at her, angrily waving his arms, pointing to the gloppy blood stains all over the lawn. Why did you let this happen? He screamed at her. Why didn't you stop it?
I tried,
Brandy wailed. I tried to stop it.
I couldn't.
Oh, God, we'll have to have the garage painted, Mon murmured, shaking her head. How will we ever mow the lawn?
Oh.
I mean, it's their own damn fault. They bought the fucking eggs that weren't...
First
they
of
didn't
all,
hard-boil the eggs.
Over time, you can clean that up.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem. No,
a permanent...
honestly, you give it 2 days, you just wait. Hey, the dog's gonna go around and eat them. If not, the deer are gonna come out of the woods.
The rain,
bunch of little animals.
Don't worry about it that much. I mean, yeah, it's a pain.
This was the worst party I ever had, Brandy cried, her eyeball hanging out of its socket. She bent down and pulled chunks of eggshell from her sneaker laces. Then she gnarled it up at Mom. It's all your fault!
Threw it in her. Threw it in her face.
Huh? Mom gasped. My fault? You didn't hard-boil the eggs. Brandy accused. So it's your fault. Mom started to protest, but bit her lip instead. Or rather, if we're still going with our whole gunslinging theme, it's you didn't lock the gun cabinet. Or the gun locker, the gun safe. You didn't lock the gun safe, so it's all your fault. Mom started to protest, but bit her lip instead. Brandy stood up and tossed the bit of eggshell to the ground. She flashed Mom her best dimpled smile. Next year for one of...
Those dimples popped right out.
Big fucking chunky dimples. Next year for my birthday, can we have a make-your-own ice cream sundae party? Oh, God, Brandy always gets whatever she wants.
Oh, man, that's so unreasonable.
Ice cream sundae party.
Egg hunts.
Have an entire big fair in the backyard with a Ferris wheel. What's the difference? That evening, I wanted to study my weird green egg, but we had to go visit Grandma Evelyn and Grandpa Henry and take them out to dinner. They always made a big fuss about Brandy's birthday. First, Brandy had to open her presents. Grandma Evelyn bought her a pink pair of fuzzy slippers that Brandy will never wear. She'll probably give them to Stubby as chew toys. What an ungrateful little bitch.
Whoa. You could give those away to people who are in need.
Charity. Brandy opened the biggest...
whatever.
Brandy opened the biggest box next. She pulled out a pair of pink and white pajamas. Brandy made a big fuss about them and said she really needed pajamas. She did a pretty good job acting. But how excited can you get over pajamas?
It's like when you get a pair, you know, it's like, oh, a shirt. This is a nice shirt. Thank you.
Fabulous, Grandma.
Thank you. It's great.
Her last present was a $25 gift certificate to the CD store at the mall.
Ooh.
You can tell this was 1995.
CD store. Yeah.
Nice present. I'll go with you to make sure you don't pick out anything lame, I offered. It's lame? You like the fucking Ninja Turtles,
so
Dana.
You're lame.
Brandy pretended she didn't hear me. She gave our grandparents big hugs. Brandy is a big hugger. Then we all went out for dinner at the new Italian restaurant on the corner.
I'm getting me some NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
That's true. At the time,
98
degrees. Destiny's Child. Oh fuck. What was the other one?
Smash Mouth.
TLC.
Smash Mouth.
Vitamin
TLC.
C.
Yep.
Or who knows? I mean, maybe she's going out getting herself some NWA, some Biggie, some Tupac. You don't know. What does she like? Some Nirvana?
Yeah. Hey.
What did we talk about at dinner?
Marky Mark.
What did we talk about at dinner? Brandy's wife. He's asking us. It's like a question to the reader. What did we talk about at dinner?
You asked? No, we didn't ask that
You're
at
right.
all.
That's what I was really wondering. What did you guys talk about at dinner? Well, your Uncle Henry's got a condition of the lower back. We've got him on a new medication.
And my ankles.
You gotta look at how
swollen they are.
You know, I've been sleeping with a heating pad under my back, but I still wake up in the middle of the night. I have
it wakes me up.
I have these spasms. It wakes her up. She gets all cranky. She's up and down all night long. It's swelling her feet up, and the medication the doctor gave her isn't working.
It's
every
hard to
time we
walk.
go in, you're waiting for an hour and a half just so they can tell you you're fine. You gotta continue to just take your medicine.
We've been to?
I don't understand
His
it.
driving is getting worse. I can drive.
You can't drive, Evelyn. Evelyn, you can't drive.
They just gotta give me back my license.
You know what they need to do is the doctor. You remember old Dr. Schuster?
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
Dr. Schuster. He moved to Kansas City.
That's
you know,
too bad.
if
He was
Dr.
real nice.
Schuster was still
knew what
here,
we needed.
he did. He always listened. That's what's important.
Not these new
you
doctors.
Know?
These
It's
new
not.
doctors
And look,
are
I'm
just-
just saying. You know, you just
in for
wait
your
until
money.
you guys get to be our age. What you're gonna realize? People stop listening to you.
Do what you can while you're young,
listening
kids.
to you. People stop visiting. This is not.
We get you busy. We get you
we
busy.
understand that you're busy.
Just call every once in a while.
Just call every once in a while. It's just nice to check in, just to say hello, just to. Anyway, so yes, we were very interested in what they were talking about at dinner.
Yes, thank you.
And then they talked about Brandy's wild birthday party. When we told Grandma and Grandpa about the egg fight, they laughed and laughed. It wasn't so funny in the afternoon, but a few hours later at dinner, we all had to admit it was pretty funny. Well, you know, tragedy plus time equals comedy. Even Dad managed a smile or two. I kept thinking about the egg in my dresser drawer when we got back home.
Couldn't stop thinking about that egg.
Would I find a baby turtle in my socks?
Ooh.
Dinner stretched on and on. Grandpa Harry told all of his funny golfing stories. And then I hit a golf ball, and then I hit it again.
And then I got it in.
Then I got it in.
So we went to the second hole.
And then we went to the second hole.
And I hit it.
And boy, my friend Petey hit it into a sand trip.
And man, did that screw up his game for that specific hole.
Very funny, Grandpa. He tells them every time we visit. We always laugh anyway. We didn't return home till really late. Brandy fell asleep in the car and I could barely keep my eyes open. I slunk into my room and changed into my pajamas. Then, with a loud yawn, I turned off the light. I knew I'd fall asleep the moment the head hit my pillow. I fluffed my pillow the way I liked it. Then I slid into bed and pulled the quilt up to my chin. I started to settle...
This is important.
I started to settle my head on the pillow when I heard the sound. Thump, thump, thump. Seriously, though, this totally matches our thoughts that this is... No, it's the thump, thump, thump of his pulsating testicles. And he's going to explore himself for the first time.
Feel it.
Steady like a heartbeat.
Body.
Only louder. Much louder. Thump, thump, thump. So loud I could hear the dresser drawers rattling. I sat straight up, wide awake now. I started through the darkness to my dresser. Thump, thump, thump. I turned and lowered my feet to the floor. Should I open the dresser drawer? I sat in the darkness, trembling with excitement, with fear. Listening to the steady thud, should I open the drawer and check it out, or should I run as far away as I could? Should he open his drawers and check out his throbbing eggs?
Or should he just run?
Or should he just run away as far as he could?
And hide.
Find out tomorrow night in Chapter 6 of Goosebumps, Egg Monsters from Mars.
wait.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Mike.